Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this cute cat bee. And this is a no sew pattern. The only sewing you're going to do is the face. I'll show you some samples. I use my other yarn weights on. This is made with double knit yarn. This is made with aran yarn. You can see the size difference. And then my favorite is this big, super chunky, it's the size of a small cushion. It looks so cute on my sofa. So yeah, this is great for using up your scraps. It doesn't take that long. It's quick to make. And like I said, don't sew. So let's get started. These are the materials you will need. These are the abbreviations I used. The written pattern is in the description. We're gonna start with yellow and make a magic ring. And then into that magic ring, we are gonna make 6 single crochet. Once you've made your 6 single crochet, then pull the tail to close the magic ring shut. And this is your first round. Because we are not closing the rounds or crocheting by turning, we need a way to mark the beginning of each round. And I'm using this piece of yarn. I just place it here in between the stitches when I finish one round, and I know that's the beginning of the round. Now, just to secure the magic ring, we're gonna crochet over it on the second round. So let's start with the second round, and in the second round we are going to make an increase. And to make an increase, we simply make 2 single crochet into the same stitch. That's one increase. We are increasing in every single stitch, so 6 times in total. Okay, so we will have 6 increases and 12 stitches in the round. Now we're gonna leave this yarn here, and all we're gonna do is fold it over when we start a new round. Okay, so now round 3, we are gonna start with an increase and then a single crochet, and then increase and another single crochet, and we repeat this until the end of the round. Alternate increases and single crochet stitches. And this is our third round. We have 18 stitches in the count. Round 4, we start with 2 single crochet and then an increase. And this is our repeat section. We repeat this 6 times in total. Single crochet, and then increase. I'll just speed up. I'll make sure the end. And this is how round 4 looks like. The circle is getting bigger. And now we start with number 5, round 5. We are going to make 3 single crochet and then increase. And another 3 single crochet and then increase. And we repeat this section, 3 single crochet, increase 6 times in total until the end of the round. And this is round 5. Round 6, we make 4 single crochet followed by an increase. And we repeat this section again 6 times in total until the end of the round. And this is how round 6 looks like. Now we have 2 more increase rounds like this. Next, we're gonna make 5 single crochet and then increase. And again 5 single crochet, followed by an increase, and this is your repeat section. Repeat this 6 times in total, just like the other rounds, until the end of the round. This is what we have so far. Now last round of increases, we start with 6 single crochet, and then an increase. And just like the other rounds, we repeat this section 6 times in total. So 6 single crochet and then an increase. And this is round 8. And now we're gonna start building the body of the cat bee. So we start with single crocheting in every single stitch. So make a single crochet in every single stitch. You have 48 stitches in this round. And this is how it looks like. Next round, we start with 14 stitches, 14 single crochet. So make 14. Okay, that's our 14. And next we're gonna make the first ear. And to do that, we skip the next stitch and then we work in the front loop of the following stitch. As you look to the stitch from the top, it's got 2 loops, one that's away from you and one that is towards you, closer to you. We're gonna work into that. So again, skip that stitch, and into that next front loop, we're gonna make a double crochet and another double crochet, then a treble, so yarn over twice, and pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, another treble, and then we're gonna make a picot stitch, chain 2, 3, and then insert the hook into the base chain through the middle of the stitch and pick up the loop next to it as well and slip stitch, and this will create the picot stitch, this tiny thing here. Now back into that front loop, we make another treble, then another treble, a double crochet, and then a double crochet, and we skip one stitch, the next stitch, and then into the following we make a single crochet, and this is our ear. Now we're gonna make 5 more single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we make the other ear. Now if you want the ears to be more angled, you can make more single crochet in between. If you want them closer, make 5. Right, so next again we skip the next stitch and into the front loop of the following stitch, this loop here, we're gonna do the same set of stitches, double crochet, double crochet, treble, treble, then we make the picot stitch, 3 chains, and then into the base stitch, so not in a base chain, into the stitch at the base, insert your hook like that, and slip stitch, back into our front loop, make a treble, another treble, a double crochet, and a final double crochet. Now we skip the next stitch, and then into the second stitch we make a single crochet, and that's our second year. And this is how it looks like. Right, so let's finish this round by making a single crochet in all the remaining stitches. You should have, I think, 19 stitches here. Make one single crochet in each of it. Okay, and this is the end of the round. These are the ears, and now we're gonna continue with round 11. So now round 11 is just a round of single crochet stitches, but there's a little bit of a different way of crocheting behind the ear. So let me show you how to do that. So let's make a single crochet in each stitch until we reach the ear. Okay, so this is the last single crochet we've made before we skip the stitch there. So we're gonna make a single crochet, and then we have to go behind the ear to crochet into that stitch that we skipped. This stitch that we skipped, we need to crochet into it behind the ear. So flip the ear down, and you should have that stitch exposed. Make a single crochet, and then remember we crocheted in a front loop only. Now we have the back loop left, so we're gonna make a single crochet in that one. Then again, that stitch that we skipped, we make a single crochet in it, and then we go back to the front and make a single crochet into the first single crochet we've done after the ear. It's a bit tight, but this will ensure that will be no gaps here behind the ear, so you don't have any gaps and the stuffing won't show. Okay, so now here we have 5 single crochet, so we make a single crochet in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, we've reached the second ear. Here we are going to flip the ear down and work into that skip stitch. Make a single crochet in that. Then the back loop that was left unworked, and then again into that skip stitch, and then back to the front, and we're gonna make a single crochet into the first single crochet we've done. So like that, and this is how the ears look like now. Next, we're gonna make a single crochet in each remaining stitch. Okay, now you can see how the head is curving and we're starting to get some sort of shape to the head. Now next 2 rounds are just rounds of single crochet. So 2 rounds in yellow, make them in single crochet, 1 single crochet in each. I'll stop the video and I'll meet you at the end where I'll show you how to switch colors to black. This is how our cat bee looks like right now after doing the 2 rounds of single crochet. And now it's time to switch colors to black. So the way I do it is I release the loop on my hook, and from back to front I insert my hook into the first stitch of the next round and pull the yellow loop through. So it's kind of like a slip stitch, half a slip stitch, I guess. Now we have this loop here. We're not going to cut the yarn, we're going to leave it attached, and I'm just pulling black yarn, a black loop through, and then I'm going to make a chain just to lock the yarn, and I'm pulling the yellow loop tight, and we can start from here to crochet. Now I crochet over the two ends, the two yellow and black ends for a couple of stitches, just to make sure it won't come unravel. Make sure the black loop is tight and the yellow loop is tight, and into the same stitch where we started, so that very first stitch, we're gonna make a single crochet because that's what the pattern's requiring. And then we've made a color change, and now we're just gonna make a single crochet in each stitch. Now for the next 4 rounds, it's just 4 rounds of single crochet in black, but I will jump to the end here just to show you the transition. I'm now reaching the end of the round, so I have 2 more stitches to crochet in, and now it's time to start the second black round. Now you might notice here a big gap. This is what I wanted to show you. It's actually that loop that you pull through. It's not a stitch, don't confuse it for a stitch. You can see the yarn that we use for the beginning of each round is right there under, so it's not a stitch. What you have to do sometimes is just pull this yellow tail again. You can see how it tightens it, and now the gap is smaller, and we can continue with our second round in black, and again a single crochet in each. So the next 3 rounds in black, make them in a single crochet. So now I finished the 4 rounds in black. This is how it looks like. You can still see a little bit in the color change, but the line is not so abrupt, switching from one color to another. Now it's time to switch back to yellow, and remember, we have not cut the yarn, we left it there. So again, put your yarn over and then release the loop from back to front, insert your hook into that first stitch and pull the black loop through. And next we pick up the yellow and pull a loop through. Now make sure it's not too tight. You can leave a little bit of yarn there, it's not going to be a problem. And just chain 1 to lock the yarn, and now we can start. And again, I am crocheting over the 2 yarns for 1 or 2 stitches. So next round is a round of single crochet, and so are the following 3. So make 4 rounds in yellow of single crochet stitches, and then I'll meet you again to continue with our pattern. We now finished the 4 rounds in yellow. Time to switch to black again. This is our last switch to black. Again, pull that loop through the first stitch in a round, and then we have not cut the yarn, like I said, so just pull it through, chain 1 to lock it, and then tighten this yellow loop. Right, and we start from here. Crochet a couple of stitches over these 2 ends, so single crochet over all of them. Okay, and again, next 4 rounds are rounds of single crochet. So make 4 rounds in black, leave the yarn, the yellow yarn attached, and make a single crochet in each, 4 rounds in black, and then I'll meet you again to continue with the last part and with the embroidery of the face and making the wings. The black rounds are finished. This is the body of the cat bee, and now we're gonna finish the end in yellow. So we are done with this black. we're gonna switch colors and then cut the yarn. So as usual, insert your hook through the first stitch of the next round and pull the loop. Make sure your yarn is at the back, don't catch it in the front. Okay, so let's try again. All right, like this. Now bring the yellow, make a chain to lock it, and now we pull this black yarn and we cut it. We are going to crochet over the end just to secure it. And our first round in yellow is again a single crochet, one, and we're gonna make the whole round a single crochet in each stitch. And again, when you reach the end, make sure you pull this black tail. Now the next 3 rounds are just single crochet rounds, so make a single crochet in each stitch for the next 3 rounds. I will not film it, I'll jump straight to the end. I'll meet you there after you finish your 3 rounds in yellow. This is what we have so far, and we're gonna continue with yellow. Now we're gonna finish the body, we're gonna start decreasing. So we are going to start with 6 single crochet, and then a decrease. And to make a decrease, invisible decrease actually, we are going to from bottom to top insert our hook through the front loop, angle it down and under the next front loop. So we picked up the front loops of those 2 stitches and then make our single crochet. And this will turn 2 stitches into 1, but it will not be bulky. It will be an invisible decrease. That's our repeat section right there, 6 single crochet. Followed by an invisible decrease. And we repeat this 6 times in total until the end of the round. Next round, we are going to start with 5 single crochet. And then a invisible decrease. And this is our repeat section, 5 single crochet, followed by a decrease. And we repeat this 6 times in total until the end of the round. And we are done with this round. Next, we start with 4 and we are decreasing like this until the end. So we start with 4 single crochet and then we make a decrease. And again, this is your repeat section, 4 single crochet and then followed by an invisible decrease. And we do this 6 times in total until we reach the end of the round. Our next round starts with 3 single crochet. That's 1, 2, and 3, and then the decrease. And again, repeat this 6 times in total, 3 single crochet and decrease. Okay, so we finish with this round. Next, we start with 2 single crochet and then the invisible decrease. And you can see how the hole is getting smaller and smaller, and the back looks closing, it's closing down. So we repeat this just like the other ones, 6 times in total, 2 single crochet, and then decrease. 2 single crochet, and then decrease. 6 times in total. So now, before we finish our last round, before this hole gets smaller, it's time to stuff the cat. But even before that, it's time to put the eyes on. So let's put the eyes on. They are going on either side of this magic ring, 5 rounds from it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Between there, we're gonna put our eyes. I'm using 12 millimeter doll eyes. These seem to work well for it. Now we can put it right here, just a little bit above the magic ring. Now on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's somewhere there. And then before you secure them at the back, make sure they look all right and they look centered and symmetrical. So let's see how this look. So this is how the face would look like. They look pretty symmetrical against the ears, against the center. So we should be fine. And now we're gonna just secure them and stuff the cat. Let me find the bags. These are the kind of bags we're gonna use. I'm just gonna push them through. And this will not come off. They will come off with the fabric. All right, so now we have the eyes secured. It's time to stuff the cat. I'm using a all pillow stuffing. Looks like this. Depends. Some of the stuffing looks more compact. I like this because it can go in smaller places, especially when you crochet small pieces like this one. Okay, so this is simple stuff. As much stuffing you can push in without stretching the stitches. So remember, it doesn't have to be firm. It's a splashy. You want it to be cuddly and soft. You don't want it to be solid with stretched stitches. It's going to be a bit out of shape. All you have to do is kind of use your palms, roll it between your palms to get a shape. Remember, do not stretch the stitches. Okay, so when you're happy with the shape, it looks like a cat bee to me, so I think we're good. Let's shape the face a little bit. Okay, so we have a bee. So let's finish with our last round. I took that piece of yarn off because we were stuffing it, but now just put another piece of yarn just there. And we start with a single crochet and followed by a decrease. That's our repeat section right there. Single crochet and then a decrease. We repeat this 6 times in total until the end of the round. Okay, last couple of stitches, finished with a decrease. And we are done. Now just fasten off by slip stitching and cutting the yarn. Relatively long tail, so we can use it to close this hole. And now just finish filling up. Mine needs a little bit more. You can see here it's empty. So let's add a little bit more of this stuffing. Okay. And she's got the right shape. Face is all right. And now I'll show you how to close this hole without sewing it. So pick up your your hook and hold this tail to the left side, and from inside out insert your hook through the middle of the stitch and pick up that front loop, and then yarn over and pull that tail completely through. And we're going to do this in each of these 12 stitches. Okay, so this is our last stitch, and then all you have to do is just pull this tail and it will close down, and this creates a reversed magic ring. It just looks like this magic ring, just in reverse. Okay, so now the only time you're going to use a needle on this pattern, except the face, is to weave in the end. Right, make sure the hole is tight, and then just make a few back and forth stitches just to secure the end. Make sure the magic ring won't unravel. And that's it. We're gonna cut the yarn, and next we're gonna do the wings. For the wings we are using white, and we start with a magic ring. And then in that magic ring we're gonna make 6 single crochet. We have 4, 5, and 6. And then we pull the yarn, the tail, so we can close the magic ring. And again, we're going to use a piece of yarn to mark the beginning and end of each round. So this is our first round. Now into the second one, we are going to make an increase in each of the 6 stitches. So 2 single crochet in each. And this is our second round. Next, we are going to make a single crochet. Remember to crochet over your end as well, so you don't have to weave it in. So we make 1 single crochet followed by an increase. So 2 single crochet. And then again, single crochet. And then an increase. We repeat this 6 times in total, single crochet, increase. We alternate those 2 stitches. And this is our round 3. Now next, we start with an increase and then 2 single crochet. And we repeat this 6 times in total. Increase and then 2 single crochet, increase, 2 single crochet. And this is how our 4th round looks like. Now let's finish the wing with our last round, where we start with 3 single crochet and then followed by an increase. Again, 3 single crochet and then increase. Repeat this 6 times in total until the end of the round. And this is how first wing looks like. All you have to do now is fasten off. So slip stitch and then cut the yarn. You need a little bit of a tail. We're gonna use that to attach it to the body. You don't have this end to weave in because we crocheted over it. So yeah, you need to make 1 more of this, and then I'll show you how to attach them to the body. So now we have 2 wings. I'll show you how I attach them without sewing them on. Of course, you can use the tails to sew if you like, I'll show you my way of doing it. So we are gonna place them here on this yellow band right in between the ears. So all you have to do is just make sure the center is in between the ears, and then we're gonna pick that stitch there. Like so, I'm just gonna insert my hook through, and then we pull the tail. Now from the opposite side, the opposite way, through the same stitch, we're gonna pull the other tail through, and here they are, and they're gonna flap. They're quite loose. They're quite nice like that. Like I said, you can sew them if you wish. I like them like this. Now tighten a little bit and then make a double knot, and this should secure the wings. Now all you have to do is just pull the ends inside the bee, so we don't have ends that will unravel. So just pull the tail inside a little bit. Okay, let's just cut it. Now this will pull it through the opposite way. Make sure you don't pull out any stuffing. And now we have a cat bee. So you can stop here if you like. This is just as cute. I'll show you next how to embroider the face. We're gonna need black yarn and a needle, double-stranded like this, and some pins just to show you where the mouth and whiskers go. That's not necessary. I'm just gonna show you where it goes. So the X mouth is where the magic ring is, and it's about 2 rows around it. So this is where our needle is going to be inserted, like so. That's why it's better to have needles you can see where. So this is gonna be our mouth like this, and then the whiskers are going to be here in the middle of the eye and going up, then 1 stitch lower, going straight 3 rounds, and then 1 down and going a little downwards. So this is gonna be our whiskers. Okay, so let's put them on this side as well. Something like this. This is for our reference, just to make sure everything is symmetrical. Well, basically this is our placement. So let's get started. We insert the needle anywhere in the black area and then out in a corner of a mouth. Let's see this lower one here. Like this. Leave a little bit of yarn out. And now we're gonna do the X. So we insert it in the opposite and down. And then into this part right here and out where the top whisker is, like so. And we have the mouth, Now let's do the whiskers. So this one comes right here. Like I said, this is like a rough placement, so you have an idea where to insert your needle. And you can of course place it anywhere you like. Now the hardest part is moving this needle on the other side, so that is going to be a bit of a thing, especially if you work with a bigger plushie. But yeah, here we go. We have our whiskers like this. Now let's do this ones as well. That's it. And now all you have to do is pull it through the same stitch where you inserted. So the same spot where you inserted the yarn, that's where you have to come out. Let's shape it again. Been squeezing it so I can fit the needle through. But yeah. Okay. So now once you're happy with it, cut the yarn. We're gonna use these two ends to make a knot. A double knot. And then use a needle or a hook or anything like that to bring it back in. You don't need such a long tail anyway. You can leave a shorter tail than that, and just use the needle to hide these ends. But because it's in a black, it won't be visible. And our bee is complete. And this is how you crochet a cat bee. If you have any questions about this pattern, put them in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to answer you. Happy crocheting!